look, John, you've been in the gaming industry for decades. What do you have to say to investors who are skeptical that this deal is actually good for you?
Well, a couple of things. I think we've set out a vision for precisely how this merger, this deal, will help us make sure that our customers can make better games and make a better business. And when we improve the business of our customers, we're going to do well. We also set out three very specific synergies where we're going to realize benefit right to the bottom line. And we framed out that we expect to see EBITDA run rate in 2024 at $800 million. That's a lot for a company of our scale. And we really gave it to them precisely that. Look, M&A in a day when the market trades down, there's a lot of things that happen. My job is not so much to think about, my stock trades at tomorrow, but to make sure that we're building a company that is going to be super valuable in the long term. And as investors, get comfortable and understand our story, but also see it in the results, I have confidence that we'll be fine.
So how big an impact did Apple's ad tracking privacy changes have here?
Not at all, actually. So, these were well understood well before we considered, looking at Ironsource. And as we've reported, there is durability and long-term viability to the iOS side of gaming advertising. I mean, look, it's a huge market. Only about 3 to 5% of applications are paid for by the consumer. 95 or 97% of consumers don't pay, hence the need for advertisement. Here's a real important trick. In almost no industry do users or players or viewers think that advertising is a positive. One of the only industries I'm aware of in the gaming industry, mobile gaming in particular, they tell us time and again that they think the advertising is positive. And not only do they say it, we can prove it, because games with advertising, when they're tested against those without, achieve higher levels of engagement, and it means they're playing more. And so we know this is true. I think it ought to be the envy of everybody in the advertising world. And of course, it's performance advertising. So our customers, what they get from us is return on investment. Maybe they want to spend less and sometimes against the recession, et cetera, but they don't want less ROI. And that's what we deliver.
Interesting. Now, Unity did have a round of layoffs recently. You cut your guidance for the full year. Are those kind of issues behind you, given the macroeconomic headwinds we see ahead for every company?
Well, first off, I mean, let me just talk a little bit about the layoffs, because I think they were somewhat blown out of proportion, not by you, Emily, but some in the press. We're a company of about 6,500 people. We eliminated about 250 positions, and we offered half of them new roles for, that would be a better career opportunity for inside of Unity than outside of Unity, or inside of Unity versus what they were doing previously. And then for each and every one of those individuals, look, I take it, it's important to make sure that everyone is treated well, and we treated them super well. A loss of that number of jobs in a company of our scale through to focus. Look, we're not in theory, the government where everything lives forever. Some things are working better than others, and we reallocate to optimize our approach to market and the opportunity in front of us. So, look, I think it's always unfortunate when even one person loses their job. What I'm proud of is we did it in a way that I think was as positive for those involved as it could be. Everyone was given an opportunity to talk to us about what they might want to do. About half of them were able to offer them something, and a lot of them are going to end up right back at Unity, because this is a great place to work.
So I know you're expecting this deal to generate $1 billion in adjusted earnings. Will that still happen if there's a recession ahead? And do you think a recession is inevitable?
Well, look, I think one of the things that always happens anytime business shows start talking about the Fed is the only thing that's truly in great supply is pundits. And so, I don't want to get into a position of trying to be a pundit. There's definitely some evidence of a slowdown, whether it will register as a full-scale recession. But here's something, I don't know, but I will point out a couple of things. Certainly economic cycles affect businesses. But if you go back over the last 20 to 30 years, and you look at each and every time we've felt recession, one of the industries that fared the best is the gaming industry. Lots of reasons for that, but it's a relatively inexpensive way to entertain yourself. And it's one thing to get into a game and see an ad and end up buying a $1 in-app purchase. It's not maybe the same thing as buying a new, F-150 pickup truck. And the other issue is this advertising medium is performance based. So to the degree that recessionary things happen, they're always going to buffet industries. I think this is an industry, this is a sector that will be buffeted far less so. So we feel confident in what we outlined today, or we wouldn't have said it. Crystal balls are never perfect, but we think we've got the right collection of assets. And in this instance, we're strengthening our hand in combination with Unity, we can, and Ironsource, if we can help our customers make better content and have a better business, we know there's long-term success in that.